Gather round the campfire because it's time for a superheroic scary story of your favorite sidekick.
Let's go, kid.
In The Haunting of Invisible Brad. It was just a normal day in Swellview, but their boss was acting strange, talking to someone who wasn't there.
Will you not stand so close to me?
Somehow destroying things without touching them. Was it a ghost? Ghosts can't be real, thought the children. No, said their boss. It is an invisible man. The entity said his name.
I'm Brad.
Now the children were in further shock.
There's no such thing as an invisible person.
Clearly, there's no such thing as invisible men.
What would make you believe that Brad's real?
The boy proposed a test.
Slap me, Brad. Right here.
To the children's surprise, he was indeed the real deal.
Hey, Brad.
They unwisely sat down to a meal with the entity, where he revealed a horrifying story of his own.
5 years ago, it was all Captain Man's fault.
Here we go again.
Well, what happened?
This evil dude's firing at me with his Invisiblaster, right?
I was just riding my bike, minding my own business.
When I dove out of the way, the Invisiblaster's beam missed me and
hit me! And that's how Captain Man ruined my life.
But despite the sacrifices, the Invisible Man was not satisfied.
What do you want from me, Brad?
I want to be your sidekick.
Hey, whoa, hey! Ray's already got a sidekick, me.
The entity demanded employment and showed off his destructive capabilities.
Ow!
Afraid, the boy and the boss made a concession.
All right, Brad. If Henry ever quits, you can be my sidekick, okay? Anything else?
Yeah, I want your shirt.
You can't have my shirt. Hey!
But the deal turned out to be more than they bargained for. That night, the boy was peacefully asleep in his bed when...
What the? What's going on?
As the night was pierced by his cry.
Quit your job!
The boy was not safe from the Invisible Man, even in his own house.
Did you feel that earthquake too?
The next day, he was uneasy at school. The stalking invisible presence could be lurking anywhere.
Henry!
What?
He had begun talking to his teacher when the being finally struck. Only this time it lashed out at the boy's teacher. With an invisible recklessness, the being demolished the teacher and pinned the blame on the boy as he gurgled angrily.
Quit your job!
The plague on the boy's life had to be stopped. He fled to his boss to recount the horrors to him.
Yeah, it's Brad.
But the man did not seem fazed. Then, in front of them both, something appeared to be levitating.
What is that?
Oh, looks like a steel pipe.
And the being remorselessly cracked the boy in the leg with the pipe, crying.
Quit your job!
The boy was riddled with injuries.
Who gave you the black eye?
Invisible Brad.
He punched you?
The boy's boss had finally had it with the being and was ready to take matters into his own hands.
We gotta do something about Brad.
Don't worry, we're gonna get him.
I doubt it.
But he was too late.
Quit your job!
And he vanished into thin air,
You have a beautiful home.
leaving them to devise a cunning plan using...
Paint!
The children returned to where the haunting first began and put their plan into motion.
Is the tripwire set?
Just about.
But it was a plan that would never come to pass.
I need to sit down.
Are you okay?
What's wrong?
Brad got hit by a bus.
Because their unseen assailant had gone to the other side.
I guess the driver just didn't see him.
Never to be seen or heard from again. Or so they thought. A year had passed when their boss again began exhibiting some strange behavior.
I'm losing it. I put things down, and when I go to look for them, I can't find them. And I'm losing my balance too. I keep tripping over things that aren't there. I'm falling down for no reason. Oh, look at my underwear. It's on the walls. That's not where underwear should be.
Okay.
Why is it on the wall?
Calm. Get out.
The man was doing things in his sleep with no knowledge of how or why he was doing them. Every undergarment he owned was glued to the walls, apparently by his own hands.
I took a nap right here, and when I woke up, this bottle of glue was in my hand, and the underwear had been stuck all over the place.
Had he finally lost it?
I made a big pot of spaghetti, right? And when I woke up, it was all around me in my bed. There were meatballs in my pajamas.
Or was there another explanation for his nighttime spaghetti troubles?
What's happening to me? I'm a disaster!
While the boy received tiny walkie-talkies from his strange friend, the girl did some research on the strange phenomena occurring around their boss. Something moved the bench, but what?
I think it might be.
Hey, thought I heard you guys. What are you doing here so long?
What could it be?
What is wrong with me?
Well, I think your problem could be Invisible Brad.
Was death not enough to stop the malcontent's invisible ways? Was it possible he was still haunting them even on that day?
What are you gonna do?
We're going to the Swellview Cemetery.
Cemetery.
Well, both pronunciations are acceptable.
I don't think they are.
Well, I think you're wrong.
The only way to find out would be to exhume the invisible body and see if he's truly invisibly decomposing in his coffin. Like grave robbers in the night, the two suited up to inspect the grave of Bradley Belcher.
You ready?
I guess.
They opened up the coffin to reveal nothing, but they knew that it would appear empty.
We should feel inside.
And they knew what they had to do.
Okay.
But while they were arguing about who would do the gruesome deed, a familiar presence creeped up and
Looking for me?
he smacked the boy with a shovel. He smacked the man as well.
Nighty-night.
As they were lowered into an overcrowded grave, the lack of options began to set in. They could not escape, and they had no means of communicating with the outside world. This was it for them.
What was your first clue?
But back where it all began, the problem was just beginning.
Shh! Listen. This place is haunted!
Because with the others trapped 6 feet below ground, there was no one to stop.
Actually, it's Captain Brad. Yeah!
And his dastardly plan.
I wanted him to think I was dead, so that later I could sneak back into his life and take over as the new superhero here in Swellview.
But Swellview's current heroes had one more tiny trick up their sleeves. A tiny walkie-talkie. They radioed to their friends, but there was only so much air left in the coffin.
Get a shovel, find a way to get here, and dig us out.
When?
How about before we run out of air and slowly die?
Would they be able to survive on such a small supply? Yes, the two narrowly escaped suffocation. But now a true reckoning was in order. They had to foil the veiled villain's plot to replace them.
Wait, who's that?
Who texted?
Henry! He says he and Ray will be back here in just a minute.
Oh, man!
Tipped off to their arrival, the entity panicked, haphazardly disrobing to regain his invisible form.
Where's Brad?
He left!
But the pants proved too problematic for our foe.
The pants! The pants!
Get the pants!
In the chaos of the chase, the creeping creep creeped away from the fray. But not before the boy hit him with bear spray and said,
That's not something you see every day.
and thus ends the tale of the haunting of Invisible Brad. It turns out that you need not be a ghost to silently seek vengeance. In fact, some say he still roams Swellview.
Quit your job!